BOMISpirit. Clyde is just kind of fidgeting with the table, so if it starts to do that, like the camera starts to move like that, that's why. Anyway, welcome to your monthly intuitive messages for the sign of Capricorn. If you resonate with anything that comes through, there's a part 2 linked below for your convenience through Vimeo or through Patreon. These are timeless and general, so take the messages as they resonate, okay? I'm just playing with a little kitty cat right here. Cappy, on the day that I'm recording your reading, it's September 1st, and I did go live earlier today. The video is titled Today's a Day of Remembrance, so go ahead and check that out if you're curious, because I think a lot of what was coming through there actually coincides with Pluto moving into Capricorn in its retrograde phase, which happened today, is happening today. And so given that this is the Cappy reading, I think a lot of what's going to come through is going to coincide with that. So just to give you a heads up there, all right? Bubby, I need the table. It's like, no, you don't. Yes, I do. I do need the table. So Cappy, just innately what I was picking up with you, it makes me want to go like that. The word belonging was coming through, and I just want to go, belonging. This feeling of belonging, connecting this feeling of belonging. Belonging is different than fitting in, or even being accepted to an extent, because belonging is, come on, thank you. Belonging is this deep knowing and feeling of home and safety. And hey, almost pulled my altar off the table. Bobby, can you chill out? Please. It's this deep feeling of home, and this is me. This is who I am, and this is the environment and reality that coincides with me and all of who I am, and the people in it as well. That's belonging, right? I was also getting a forested kind of visual, so you could be really in your own element right now, the element of earth, could be even a little bit of water, but I also felt this feeling of space and breath, almost having breathing room. Excuse me. Some of you are feeling a sigh of relief. Some of you are feeling like a burden is finally over. Maybe a cycle is closing for you. If you resonate with anything that I mentioned in the live earlier, energy. There is definitely a major closure happening for everybody right now, but because it's coinciding with Pluto and Capricorn, you're probably really feeling it. Keep in mind, this may last for a couple of months, or you may be going through this feeling of slowly feeling less burdensome or closing a cycle for the next couple months, okay? But let's go ahead and pull some cards for you. I'm going to start with the Spellcasting Oracle. It feels appropriate. I'm about to get my Halloween stuff out. I don't know. I'm just feeling it. I know it's September, but I'm just feeling it. I love Halloween. And I do actually have a couple Halloween decks specifically. And even just with the spellcasting deck, I'm like, it just feels like the season. Anyway, Capricorn, any messages or insights for my Cappies? Any messages or insights for my Cappies, please? Cats may be a thing for you at this time. I know Clyde just came all up in your reading, but I was kind of seeing cats beforehand anyway, and they're being brought back up into my awareness. So you could be seeing cats a lot. Cats could be drawn to you at this time. Cats to me are a symbol of protection. Also, they could be seen as medicine of flow and self-acceptance, right? And also femininity, like receiving. It just feels like getting really in tune with magic is what that's feeling like to me for you. Any messages or insights for Capricorn at this time? It was all worth it, is what I'm hearing. Ooh, hairball. That's what I'm hearing, Capricorns. It was all worth it. It was all worth it. I have my head covered because it's one of those days, like when you guys just asked. Any messages or insights? Oh my, and was it worth it? Interesting cards that came out here. Protection. What did I say about the cats? Protection and happiness. It was all worth it. The protection card, again, this feeling of space, room to breathe. I feel like that's you. Well, it's all of you, but I feel like the protection card is here to indicate that, like, you have given yourself some sort of like space or bandwidth, grace, I want to say too, permission to have breathing room, whatever way that means. So some of you, that could be socially. Maybe you've allowed yourself to have some boundaries or just some distance away from some people, some breathing room from some people. Maybe some of you have gotten a little bit easier on yourself as far as expectations on yourself, but that's what I'm feeling. Like, you've given yourself bandwidth, you've given yourself breathing room, you've given yourself permission, you've given yourself grace. And what it's facilitating is more joy for yourself. I keep feeling this notion of belonging, though. The feeling of belonging is something we experience internally that manifests externally. And so I do feel like some of you have found that within yourself, or you're discovering it, especially by giving yourself this like breathing room or bandwidth. It's allowing you to find that within yourself. And so that will manifest externally. But yeah, I feel like you're just being really, really good to yourself at this time, and it's serving you really well. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some other cards here. I'm going to go with the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Any other messages or insights for Capricorn at this time? Something about roosters. I don't know why roosters are coming in here. Roosters. You may hear a rooster. Oh, this is interesting. Some of you could be a rooster in Chinese astrology, but some of you may hear roosters a lot or start seeing roosters. It could be a synchronicity, but I'm getting the specific pull of like, when you hear the rooster, you'll know. That is not for everyone. I'm gonna make that very clear. When you hear the rooster, you'll know. When you hear the rooster, you'll know. When you hear the rooster, you'll know. Then just keep repeating that. I'm like, okay. All right. Any messages or insights? Union. Yeah, you are. Again, this is also coinciding with belonging. You're giving yourself permission, the bandwidth, the grace, the breathing room to discover how to feel at home within yourself, how to belong within yourself. And this is also going to domino effect into, I belong in the world. I belong in this city. I belong with my loved ones. I belong in this job, whatever. But it's starting here, and that's what union is here for too. Oh, it feels so good. Some of you may have been feeling up until this moment or up until this point like, I'm getting loneliness. I'm getting loneliness. Struggle, like Five of Pentacles kind of vibes. Like lacking, like there's been something that's been missing in your life or missing from your experience, or like I keep feeling a social component too for a lot of you. There's a piece that you have with that, because I think all of those feelings were probably stemming from not feeling at home within yourself, not feeling like you even belong within yourself in your own body, not knowing yourself fully, acknowledging all of your own feelings. Just like there's a dissonance internally that was fueling some of that. And probably feeling also some just like beliefs that you've also had about yourself in your life. I still feel like you have like this perimeter around you, like breathing room. I keep hearing breathing room. So I don't think necessarily you're about to be flooded with people, but I wouldn't be surprised if one or two people get closer to you at this time as a result of you getting closer with yourself. But I still feel space around you, like breathing room around you. Anything else for Capricorn? Why? Any other messages or insights for Capricorn? Gemini had a similar message of coming home, which I do think was also very collective. And like I said, I think yours is very collective. So not surprised that similar things are coming through here. Any other messages or insights for Capricorn? 10 of Earth and the 9 of Earth. Interesting. Okay, so something you guys have been working through, the difference between the 9 and the 10 of Earth. The difference between the 9 and 10 of, and the 9 and 10 of Earth, the 9 of Earth is very contained within the self. Contained within the self. starting to get a headache, like third eye energy. The Nine of Earth is contained within the self. It's self-confidence, it's self-assurance, it's self-esteem. It's also feeling like you have a lot of resources on your own, like very individual, independent kind of energy. In this deck, it also speaks to being generous, like a generosity. The Ten of Earth is more legacy. It's more career. It's more long-term security, how people see you and view you, even a little bit of reputation wrapped up in there. I'm thinking like 10th house. There could be something going on in your midhaven. I would definitely check your own charts for that. But the difference between the two, I feel like there's been a dissonance there. There's been a disconnect or a lack of alignment between all of this within yourself, your own sense of confidence, self-esteem, security, independence, resources just for you, and how you show up publicly to other people, especially in career or even in your health, and even what you have been trying to build legacy-wise or career-wise. There's been a disconnect. Something hasn't been aligning. Like you've probably been doing a lot here, which is very Capricorn, but something has needed to align here, which is what you're doing now. Bridging. These two will bridge. An alignment is happening with these two because an alignment is happening internally. So now an alignment can happen externally that will match where you're at internally. Does that make sense? I feel like there's been a forcing going on here because there's been a lack of alignment here. Like you've almost been pushing. Well, this has been taking a backseat. And now taking the time to focus on your internal world with all this stuff is bringing things in alignment. And there may be changes going on here with career or reputation or your health or how you go about money or legacy or work that will reflect what you've been doing internally or how you've been calibrating internally with this feeling of belonging. And it's about to align in manifestation, okay? Which is really nice. There's something else that wants to be said there. There's probably going to be more intention and purpose that also goes into your Ten of Earth, but there's something socially too. I can feel it. There's something socially, and we'll get into that in part 2, but I want to pull a couple other cards here before we move on. We're going to go with the Fae. I'm going to do the Fae deck on this one. This is really securing your material world, I want to say. I can see it and I can feel it. Even if it's starting as just like feeling right within yourself, maybe even taking care of your own health. Some of you, it's part of that because that's also material plane. But yeah, I feel it. It's securing your long-term material security. Can I get a card for union for Capricorn? Can I get a card for union for Capricorn? Can I get a card for union for Capricorn? Whoop. It'll be the retriever. I feel like I always make that face when he comes out because it'll be the retriever. He's a nice energy. He helps us retrieve our lost hopes and dreams and wishes and even lost parts of self, like soul retrieval is how I look at it'll be the retriever. So the fact that he's coming in with union is kind of confirming what I was already getting with you, that you are moving into this place of belonging within yourself, at home within yourself, right? Connection to self. There is some recovery of self that's happening there. And for some of you, even recovering like lost skills, lost desires, whimsies, if you will, things that make you feel really good. It just feels like being put back together in a way, but it's all happening very internally. It's really nice. That's really nice. Okay. Tell me about the Ten of Earth. Yeah, something in your Ten of Earth life either has been recently or right now is taking a back seat so you can focus on this. Focus on your roots, the foundation of self, like your own personal sense of confidence and security and self-esteem and health and all of that so that you can make changes here and build this up right. And it's a direct reflection of your own internal balance of unity, of belonging of self, of acceptance of self. right? So something with the 10 of Earth, I can feel it might be taking a back seat for a little bit. Tell me about the 10 of Earth for Capricorn. Oh, interesting. She of the Kruak, which is divine feminine principle. Now, I will say we do have 2 5s out here, 41 breaking out to a 5, and then straight up 5. 5s could be synchronistic, but she of the Kruak is a card of receiving, receptivity, going within. Now, like I said, I feel like something's almost taking a back seat, which makes sense because the feminine energy withdraws, retreats in, waits to receive, right? This will have some growth later after this gets secured in the ways I've already described. For some of you, there may be something happening as far as opportunities go or certain people in your life in a way where you can take a backseat here and you can get help here, or you can get like support and assistance here. That could be financially. That could even be within your household. That could even be in the form of advice, right? But yeah, there's a backseat happening here, okay? Sorry, they want me to talk some more. I feel like you've been pushing. You've been forcing this in a way that is not authentic to an internal alignment because you've needed to get internally aligned. Okay? Okay. All right, moving on to the 9 of Earth. Ooh! Haven't seen that card in a hot minute. This one's a very electric card. So even the energy is like doing stuff to me right now. Ecstasis. Ecstasis with the vibration of 2, which when we think of 2, we think of unity, which you do have the union card. Do not forget, right? Do not forget. Which is a 13, by the way, which is kind of interesting because 13 in tarot is traditionally the death card, but this is about unity. I feel like so much can be said there. But anyway, not about that. Let's get back to you. Ecstasis coming out here with the 9 of Earth. Ecstasis, like I said, is kind of an electric card. I always get like antenna, dragonfly, telepathy kind of vibes, like getting like downloads or getting connected in some way or even being exalted. It's like, it's a surging of energy, which I think is happening with you as you are finding this place of belonging and acceptance of self, finding the self again, recovering the self again until you can get very solid. Something electric and catalyzing is happening within you. Some of you, this is downloads. Some of you, there is like strong telepathy happening with people. I keep getting social component, even though we don't see people on the board, I can feel them. But something is also getting electrified and inspired within you as you solidify yourself in this internal alignment of self, okay? And again, that will only translate to the 10 of Earth for you later on. Bubby. Anyway, Cappies, very excited to get deeper into your reading into the tarot portion, but I am looking at a Capricorn or Capricorns who are moving into this beautiful space within themselves, finding home and belonging within themselves, self-acceptance, recovering certain pieces of things that they've lost along the way. And you are giving yourself grace and permission and bandwidth and breathing room to do this, and maybe even taking a little bit of a backseat as far as your 10 of Earth life is concerned. Again, family, career, reputation, public life, very 10th house stuff is what I'm feeling there, so that you can really get right within yourself and really find a solid source of joy within, and that will translate out to your 10 of Earth, okay? Buddy, this doesn't feel hard. I want to make that very clear. Like, the cat's back. Ooh. This doesn't feel hard. This doesn't feel like a struggle, okay? This doesn't feel like you're suffering. It feels like you're actually getting very empowered by it. And more than that, you're feeling joy and calm, and that's really cool. A lot of love, too. But I'm going to go, Cappies. If you're joining me for part 2, I will see you over there. And if not, I hope you found this supportive and helpful, and I will see you later. Bye, Cappies.